Good evening, everyone. Namaskar, Sasyakal, Adab. This is Ekta Sehgal Malhotra, founder and Chief Strategy Officer of Motherhood Club. We are back again with our health series. A topic, a question that many of us have in our mind that what happens to our health, especially women, after the age of 35. Somehow, the age 35 and above has a lot of connotations, a lot of changes happen in our body. Hormonal changes, your pregnancy after 35 is categorized as a high risk pregnancy. It becomes difficult to lose weight. It becomes, you become more iffy and edgy. Your kids are growing up, they have their own tantrums, they are mostly in their teens, soon to fly out, and a lot more that happens in our body. We were understanding what menopause is all about last week with Dr. Vijaya Mehta. But also, it is important that while we understand what goes around inside our body, we also need to have acceptance. We also need to work upon ourselves because this is not just my challenge, but this is a challenge that each one of us faces. So, with us today, we have Anupama Nair, a digital fat loss coach. But before that, a finance professional, spent a few years into the corporate world. And when she started experiencing her health challenges, came a point where she completely changed not only herself, but is now on a mission to impact the lives of many and already has impacted the lives of more than 700 people by guiding them, advising them on the right nutrition as a sports nutritionist and as to how should you take care of your body. She also says in a candid conversation with her, she said, we first need to accept the way we are, and only then can we start what we want to achieve. So, a warm welcome, Anupma. How are you doing?
Absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Akta. Such a beautiful intro. I mean, I just could go back to my journey and, I just came back. I just felt those years in front of me. So thank you so much. And as you very rightly said, I totally believe because I have gone through that journey. I have gone through the phase where I hated myself. And there was a time when one auntie told me that you have put on weight. Aren't you taking care of your body? Or she just didn't say body, she just said, aren't you taking care of yourself? At that point in time, I felt pretty, bad. Why she's saying things like that? It's okay, it's my body, my health. It really doesn't matter. But then later I, thought about what she said. It's like, you take care of everybody. We as women, we take care of the whole family. But when is it that we start thinking of ourselves, our body, our health, our needs, our time? Because we always keep ourselves as the last. We do not prioritize us first. I think we should prioritize us as first because that is exactly when we start loving ourselves. When we start loving ourselves, we accept the way we are. And the minute we start accepting ourselves, we start working on ourselves. The minute we start, we are on that zone where we hate our body. Whatever you do, you end up coming back as a boomerang, because you started with a point of negativity. And let me tell you, the journey has to do a lot with mind. It's a connection with mind and body and soul. Then only you can be in this journey. And it is a journey, even for me. As a nutritionist, I know the studies, I know the science about it, but still, if there is a stress in my family, I would, I can easily, go back. I can. But I have to, again, start loving myself, understanding, accepting the problem, okay? Knowing the problem, accepting the problem, and then working towards solving the problem.
Absolutely. I think that's very rightly said that, any change that we need to bring in our life, it cannot be in isolation. It has to be in conjunction with all the aspects. And I'm glad that you touched upon the mind, body, and soul, because I think this was in February that we threw a challenge to our members, a 21-day challenge that, let's walk for our mind, body, and soul. We walk physically, right? So that becomes a physical exercise. But what can we do to work or walk for our mind and our soul? And I think that self love that you mentioned, and the fact that we are our least priority, is absolutely bang on. But and very interestingly, the women of the house is always considered to be the fulcrum who binds everyone together. They say that if the lady of the house is happy, perhaps everything around
Exactly.
you is very happy, and we ourselves don't take care of ourselves. We
Hmm.
know this very well, Anupma. And as we get older, the body hormones start playing up. Weight gain is a perennial issue, and especially around the abdomen area. And as we further grow, when we get to our 40s, 40, 45, menopause sets in, then it becomes very difficult. I mean, as I understand, our metabolic rate reduces, and then we start resorting to different kinds of diets. Those fads,
Absolutely.
keto and German diet, and so on, so and so forth. And sometimes we just say, okay, we will not eat something. So there is a, either we are binging, as you said, that if there is an emotional turmoil, or we just completely give it up. Okay, nahi karna hai. So there is an extremism that is happening. And is it right to say that we are actually further punishing our body? So what is the right way, actually, that we want to know from you, because you are a living example? And for all our viewers, firstly, thank you who've joined us. I see Anupma every day, and she's absolutely fit. She does her work, she takes care of a child, she's taking care of her home, but she is also prioritizing her own health. She's exercising, she goes to the gym, she goes for a swim. So she's doing a combination of cardio and muscle training. I'm sure there is merit in what she's doing, and she's going to share with us how do we take care of ourselves, especially after the age of that magical number 35 and upward. So over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you to all the viewers who have joined in. So I'm so glad, I'm so excited to be here, and just to take you through like how to take care. Before that, why to take care, as Akta very well pointed out. We our body starts degenerating after the age of 25. Okay. So now from 25 till 35, our body again goes through a lot of changes, after child, first child, second child, and then after a certain point in time, we stop caring. Okay. So before I take it forward, can I just ask all the viewers proactively, when did anyone go and take a health checkup without doctor telling, or without it being it's like even from office when it is the executive checkup, given every year, very rarely I see people going and take it up unless and until there is a real need or a push for it. Okay, so let me begin with this point itself, that when we say how to take care post 35, we need to be on our toes. Why I would say on our toes is we need to understand internally how our body is. When I say body checkup, I mean like what's your lipid profile, how is your cholesterol looking, if you're diabetic or if you're nearing diabetic, do you have a history in the family, heart conditions in the family, BP in the family, or if you are nearing because of the work stress that you have. So all these things makes a lot of difference. Even if you are very diligent in what you eat, maybe you're eating on time, you're sleeping on time, but the other factors are there, then you need to understand and you need to work on those lines to correct it. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
first and foremost, we need to understand where our body is. From that point, we can start working on it. So
But for
regular
that, I
check.
think acceptance has to be there that there is a
So
problem.
that's the first, yeah, that's the first point which I, said. See, the problem, first of all, accepting that there is a problem is half the problem solved.
Absolutely.
So when we accept, yes, this is a, and it's a work in progress. As I said, we have, it's going to be an ongoing journey. We cannot reach the destination and say, yes, we reached there and we'll sit back. The minute you sit back and relax, saying that yes, I've achieved, I've been there, I've reached my point of my goal, it has to be a progression. Like in our jobs, how do we strive for more salary? Yeah. So the same way, health has to be a progressive, on a progressive mode. We cannot say कि मैं यहाँ पे थी, and I often come across people that I lost weight and then again came back and then again lost and then again came back. Why is this happening? So we need to understand the crux that if we are on a onward journey, it has to be onward journey. The
Absolutely.
minute
I think
we
you're
sit
right.
back, the minute we are, and as I said, it's a lot. The mind plays a major role in this. Okay, so the whole idea is the mind has to be controlled. I keep telling all my clients, do not go on to the weighing scale. Don't go check yourself every day. My clients would jump onto the weighing scale after their bowel movement in the morning. Again, after dinner, they will check and they will like message, this is the difference. I said, I don't want to know, because body weight is what? Body has your organs, bones, muscles, fats, everything. So if you lose 500 grams in the morning and again have, 500 grams in the evening, it could be fluids, it could be anything. So, that's not the parameter that I'm looking at. So, stop looking at the short term things. How can we make a long term goal? By understanding our body, first of all. Once we understand where our body stands, as I said, lipid profile, our TSH levels, our triglycerides, once we understand where we are, then we can start working on. We will know how much macronutrients to take. Now, what are macronutrients? Macronutrients are protein, fats, and carbohydrate. So, how much to take? If right now, anyone I ask, like, how much was your plate? Was it balanced plate? I don't think it was it was 80% of carbohydrate. Protein is absolutely nil. There would be some fats there, healthy fats, and healthy fats is very much required. So we need to understand when we say a balanced diet, what exactly is a balanced diet? Is everything in balance? You know, is my carbohydrate, protein, and fats in balance? And when I say diet, let us understand one thing. I do not like the word diet. I like the word nutrition. Okay, because the minute you say diet, you are taking things out of your plate. The minute I say nutrition, you're adding the good things on your plate, and I want that.
So
Okay?
does it mean that you know it's more important that what is the kind of food that you're eating and how consciously you are eating, keeping that balance in mind? Because these days, like I said, that there are these fads. There are, it's for example, say intermittent fasting. People feel that if you do intermittent fasting, you're fasting for 16 hours, and then you start eating in those 8 hours, then perhaps you would lose weight, and it's going to be like a complete game changer. So does it happen like that? Because again, in those 8 hours, you will eat for the whole day. Now again, you can be conscious that you eat little, but does that really work?
So, Akshay,
Or
what
for that matter,
happens?
how does it work actually?
Okay, so just because you mentioned intermittent fasting, okay, intermittent fasting is that way is very tricky. If you're going to start on your own, as I said, macros is very important. Similarly, micros are also very important. The vitamins and minerals. Okay, you are going on a fasting mode for 16 hours. All right. So here you are any which way is depriving your body is any which way is not getting all the vitamins and minerals in 3 meals that you're having. Any which ways it's not getting required amount. In that, you are again reducing it to a 2 meal a day. So now it becomes very tricky if you have not consulted somebody and doing it on your own. Because what can happen here is if you're going on intermittent, you are bound to lose your muscles. Okay, you might get vitamin D deficient, you might get calcium, you can see you might have calcium deficiency, B12 deficiency. You will play with your vitamins and minerals which your body needs. It plays a very vital role. So what I would suggest is intermittent fasting is not bad. I'm not blaming it. What I'm saying is start if you're starting or if you're doing anything, do it correctly. Understand if you're doing something, why you're doing it. If first of all, can your body take it? Immediately when you're starting intermittent fasting, can your body take it? Because we need, certain amount of protein in our body for our muscles. All the hormonal imbalance happens because we lack protein in our daily intake. So when we reduce the food that we have and we go about having the same food, वैसे जो मिल रहा था उससे और कम हो जाएगा. So what do we do then? And then we might lose weight, okay? We might lose 5 kgs in a month's time, but how will you know whether you lost muscle or you lost the fat? So if you lost the fat, it is very good. But if you lost the muscle, then muscle building takes a lot of time. And it is very important that you do not lose your muscle, especially when you are on a diet, so called. Yeah.
So, which means that effectively, when you say go for these kind of thing, whether you're say any kind of a diet that you do, so that initial loss that happens, right now, in order to sustain that, there has to be something more that needs to be done. Otherwise, the moment you're going to go back to maybe, and let's say you say that okay, I'm going to take a high protein diet. I don't want to take carbs, and then you see result. For somebody, high protein diet would work. Right. Firstly, I think as a layman, one doesn't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So, as
Exactly.
you said, that it's important to first get yourself physically examined, do all your health checkups to know, and then any diet should be followed under the supervision of the consultant, not just okay, today I want to be a low carb, today I want to be a high protein diet, or today I want to do intermittent fasting. So what is the right way? So if we go from a step by step point of view, one, you said that we do our health checkup, so we know where the problem is, if at all there is a problem. Then where do we advance and how do we structure our diet, and how much of a role does diet play, and how much exercising plays an important role to manage that weight issues that we have.
Okay. So, Akhtar, see, how do we step by step process? Okay, let's address this first. First of all, as you said, we do our health checkup. Once we have done our health checkup, we know what all lacks, if at all. Like most of us are vitamin D deficient. Calcium might deplete as and when we grow in our age. So we need to take care of our calcium. We need to take care of our vitamin D. We need to take care of other vitamins like B12. If we are vegetarians, B12 plays a major role because mostly vegetarians are deficient in B12. So we need to take this into account and then understand how our triglycerides are, our cholesterol overall. To understand if at all we're going on a diet, how much cholesterol can we have? Okay, how much healthy fats also can we consume? If our cholesterol is already high, how much should we avoid, or what can we have to maintain it or lower it? Because nutrition is not a cure, it's a prevention. Okay, so we need to understand how can we lower it so that we can be at our fittest. Okay, the point is when we start at a point where we just want to lose weight. We never start with the point that we need to correct our health. The minute our point of view changes, this starts happening. So once you start eating a balanced diet as per what your body requires, like macros and micros, your proteins, carbohydrates, and healthy fats, and your vitamins and minerals as and when it is required. So some people, vitamins and minerals needs to be supplemented. Now, most of us, we get scared of supplementation. No, 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 no. Why should we supplement? हमें खाने से मिल जाएगा. But let me tell you, खाने से नहीं मिल रहा है ना? That is why we have to, जैसे vitamin C during COVID time, most of us were asked to have. Okay, so vitamin C is immunity booster. So each and every cell of our body is coated with vitamin C. It protects us, each and every cell. So we need that, and vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin. If it is excess in our body, it will go out through urine or stool. It will not stay back in our body. So we don't have to get scared of certain vitamins and minerals. The only thing is the source that you're taking it from. Okay, so I would not suggest Limsy and Selin from the store. It has to be something more bioabsorbed by the body. So, second thing I would say is understand if you have any deficiencies in the body. Okay. Third, I would say Limit your caffeine, tea, or alcohol intake. Very important because earlier it was not as easily available or easily accessible, and now we all are so used to having it could be alcohol, it could be coffee, it could be tea. So we need to make sure that we limit anything. Too much of anything is not good for our body, so we need to understand that everything has to be in moderation. Believe me, once you start being mindful, your body will tell you, where you're going wrong and where you're correct. Your body is itself is a nutritionist. Imagine those days when, or imagine, my mentor used to tell me that, imagine yourself in a jungle, okay? Literally jungle, wildlife, where there is cheetah or a lion or a tiger who only gets up and runs when he or she is hungry. He's not running because he wants to lose fat. Okay, he gets up and runs only when he's hungry. He eats and he sleeps. Okay, so we need to understand that our body is made in such a manner that whatever we eat should give us energy, and then if we don't do anything, we should not get fat. But now, in today's scenario, there's so many things in and around us. There's so much marketing gimmicks. When we go to a store, we are flashed with so many, glittery packets. And especially try this going hungry to a store. You will pick up everything that is ready to eat. Believe it or not. Okay, try this if you
Absolutely.
guys want to. You will see your cart is full of ready to eat stuff. Okay, so that's how our mind is because it wants things instantly. Gone are the days when medieval person used to go and hunt and then eat and then go hungry for days, and he was still muscular. He was not lean or he was not too fat. So God has
Right.
made us that way. So we just need to pick up, and now that we have so many options, we have good options and we have bad options. It's up to us how and what we pick up, because most of the stuff which are not good for our body have been thrown at our faces. So by default, the good stuff is hidden behind, and we do not end up seeing it.
Absolutely. And there is a question that has come up for you.
Yeah.
In fact, there are two people who are saying the same. So Mr. Bhatnagar is there. He's saying that there are so many supplements available and people are going crazy over it. And Eli is saying that natural source of nutrition are far better than the artificially made. But the question is that how do you identify the right source of supplement, considering that there are so many supplements that are available in the market? So does a doctor prescribe them to you? Does a nutritionist, or what are those factors that you need to look at before you pick up a supplement for yourself?
Okay, so just take the example of vitamin C itself because we were talking about vitamin C. So vitamin C is for best bioabsorbed in the body. First of all, how much do we need per day? Okay, we need 2000 mg per day, 2 grams of vitamin C per day. Now tell me if how can we have 2 grams? अगर हमने 10 आंवला भी खा लिया ना, तो उससे ये 2 ग्राम नहीं होने वाला. और where do we sit and have 10 आंवला a day? और
Correct.
हमने बैठ के 20 संतरे खा लिए, तो imagine the amount of fructose that is getting into our body. So when we say natural source of vitamin C, of course it is there. I'm not at all saying it's not there. But when I'm saying natural source of vitamin C, but how much are we going to have it so that our body is protected? As I said, we are, aging. Okay. So our cells at this point in time need more protection. Our cells need more protection. And believe it or not, vitamin C and vitamin E makes us look younger. So all the more
Vitamin C and
uh,
vitamin D.
E,
E,
vitamin E,
yes.
because they protect your cell, right? So you are, your skin glows. Please, I'm not talking about Evion. Evion आप तोड़ के चेहरे पे लगा सकते हो. I'm not talking about Evion. I'm saying the composition has to be right. Now for vitamin C, when I'm saying vitamin C with rose hips and bioflavonoids is best absorbed by the body. So whenever you're looking for vitamin C, I would say look for brand which is giving with rose hips and bioflavonoids, because that vitamin C is totally absorbed by the body. So
Right.
this is exactly why we need to supplement. We cannot have too much of santara. It will have too much of fructose. Fructose will lead to too much of glucose in our body, so much of insulin spike. It will lead us to be, or take us to pre-diabetic or make us diabetic if we keep
Okay.
on having for so much of fruits. So that's what I say, na, everything in moderation.
In moderation, yes. So there's another question, which I think I did ask you, but I maybe you might need to reiterate that. What's
Yeah.
your take on the diet fads like keto, intermittent fasting, no carb diet, juice diets, etc.? What do you think?
Okay.
Do they really work, or they a very initially it makes you feel good about the fact that you knock off a few kilos, and how sustainable is it, and should one continue to do them? Should that be a lifestyle to manage?
Very good question. I will see. To be very frank, I am the person, you can see me. I'm the person who's done it all. Okay. So from keto uh, to juice, that was detox. But juice fast I've never kept because I was always aware of my muscles that I had to take care. But yes, keto I have done. I am a person. I'm a intermittent fasting specialist. So I will not call intermittent fasting as a fad. Okay, I will call that as a lifestyle. So that's what I said. Anything that you call a diet is going to be a short term. The more you make it a lifestyle, whatever diet it would be, it could be anything. If you can sustain it, then you can make it a lifestyle. If you cannot sustain it, then you need to make something happen, or you need to look for a diet which can be made into a lifestyle. Because the minute you stop dieting, you will bounce back double the speed, the kilos that you have lost. So you need to be mindful when you're starting what kind of diet you're starting with. So you can always progress. Maybe you started, you got carried away, or you like keto, or you started with keto. Believe me, it works. It's a beautiful science. Okay, we can talk about it some other time. It's a beautiful science how the body, is burning fat and giving you that energy. It's a beautiful science. Okay, through ketosis, but it's a very restrictive diet. Okay, so not because we are such a social being and we like going out, we like meeting people, partying. So being on this particular diet will have a lot of restrictions. So if you are that kind of person who can handle that, then why not? But I would say whatever you start, make it a
Continue.
lifestyle. If you can make it a lifestyle, then you are through. If like for instance, I'm on intermittent fasting, I made it a lifestyle. Okay. Now, I cannot think of going back because this is me. This is my lifestyle. I have seen the, energy burst that I have because I'm on this. I've seen the how my body is in a regeneration mode, how my cells are repairing themselves, how I feel active. The energy that I get, it's beyond. I just cannot, explain it like that. It has to be felt to say it. So yes, if you can, be on intermittent, but follow it right. You just don't think कि अच्छा मैं कल से intermittent जा रही हूँ, उन्होंने बोला था मैं intermittent कर सकते हैं, तो मैं कल से intermittent में जा रही हूँ and I will just start. So this way, what happens? You will suddenly, feel very lethargic. You will feel anxiety, irritated because your body is not getting the energy or the glucose when it's supposed to get. So whatever you start, I would say consult somebody and start because even going on an intermittent, I take it as a journey to make you reach there. Okay, so when you take it as a journey, because as I said, it's a lifestyle, so you need to take step by step. It's a long way there. So once you take step by step, then you can make it a lifestyle. If you take
Absolutely.
look at it immediately, आज ही करना है, आज ही चाहिए, because all of us we need instant results. We are doing
Instant
this, मुझे
result.
क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है? अब मैं कर रही हूँ क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है? रोज चढ़ रहे हैं क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है? Why the weight is not going down? The weight has not come overnight. It has taken its sweet time. So give it time to go also. The fat.
So, Anupam, tell me one thing, that while one takes supplements for your new minerals and vitamins, there is a lot of thing around the fact that, okay, use a fat burner, include that in your diet. Does that work? Does that harm your body? Or it might give you quick results, but in the long term it might impact, or for that matter, not just fat burners but also supplements like for when you are training, muscle training, you're doing bodybuilding, in that time and you start using these supplements. So do they really work, or they
Okay,
are again to
so
be?
let's talk about our fat burners first. Okay, I personally don't believe in them because what I feel is if you start depending on something like a fat burner, okay, your body might lose, but your intake, if it is not less, then the minute you stop having fat burners, you will bounce back. So, you cannot depend on that pill. It might help you. I'm not saying it will not. Okay, it might help you, but I would say do not depend on it. Maybe take it, in the beginning just to lose that few kilos, but then you need to be active. You need to move. You need your body. You need to give your body some activity. I'm not saying go to gym. I'm saying walk every day. Do a brisk walk. Start with that. If you're not doing anything, start with 15 minutes walk, then progress to 30 minutes. Then 30 minutes may how many how many kilometers did you walk? Have a
Base it up.
time set, and record these things. That will show you progress. These are simple progress. I think these simple progress will also give you a lot of boost. कि आज तो मैंने इतना चल लिया. So it's a good feeling, the adrenaline rush that you get. कि, wow, I did this today. My body did. I never thought I could. Few days back I could do such a thing. So that is how your body should come back, and that's how your goal should be.
Absolutely. So
And the
another,
second question
yeah,
was, Akta, sorry, I just missed the second one. You asked me two questions. One is fat burner and
second was those other supplements for bodybuilding, to build up your
right.
muscles, pump up.
Okay, so see, most of the bodybuilders, they take protein supplements. Okay, so why protein supplements is because maybe they are working out in the gym for more than an hour. Okay, and they are lifting heavy weights. Okay, so body immediately needs protein in a pure form of protein. So through food, when you have protein, it goes to the digestion process and everything, and उसके बाद वो protein provide करेगा. This protein powder would be giving them instant protein because it's made that way. And protein is not bad, okay, provided you get the original stuff. In the market, again, there is a lot of, India है, बहुत mixing होती है. So you need to know what you're picking, which brand you're picking, and it's not bad. It's not at all bad. At one time, I also used to take, and believe me, for ladies, if you all are listening, if you are going to have protein, you're not going to bulk up. Okay, it's just a supplement. जैसे आप अपने बच्चों को Complan boost देते हो, it's just like that. Provided your source is good. It's
Right.
not going to make you bulk up. It's just going to give you a supplementation. If you are a vegetarian, you cannot go and have, maybe a good source of or first class source of protein, and then you want to supplement it. Or, if you're a gym goer and you train hard and you need this much protein for a day, and khane mein protein you cannot overeat like carbohydrate,
Right.
so you need to
So
supplement.
okay, so that veg, non-veg part I'm going to come, but I'm read a question here
Yeah.
that say doctors are generally engrossed with patients in treatment and they don't get time to eat properly, and there is always a gap of around 9 to 10 hours before regular food. So how can such a situation be managed?
But see, I cannot, the doctor, I don't know whether they are literally going on a fasted state for that long. They can always carry healthy fat. They can, keep almonds. I always tell my clients, whenever you're traveling or you're out and you think that your food is not accessible, always keep a cheese cube, or, almonds and walnuts, nuts, trail mixes there. You keep these things handy so that you are not in such a fasted state or in a starvation mode में नहीं, because if you're not on an intermittent fasting kind of a mode, you are starving. Okay, there is two different things, your fasted state and your starvation mode. So if you're used to eating food every 3 to 4 hours and you've not been able to eat and you feel low on energy, then you eat almonds. You can keep these things, can be just kept in your pockets or your bag, and you can carry it anywhere. So like almonds and cheese cubes and trail mix, they come very handy.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree, because I think almond instantly gives you that energy, and it kind of takes away that hunger also for some time. You don't feel low. So Anupam, coming back to your journey, you've shared with us that okay, we need to get our health checkup done, and then have the right kind of nutrition in terms of vitamins and minerals and supplemented. And then of course I think exercising is equally important, and to use the right amount of supplement that is needed to bridge that gap from what you get from the natural resources. So going back into your journey, when you were experiencing this change in yourself where you were gaining weight, and when you started to follow a certain protocol, what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them? Because losing weight can be very frustrating. That
Ask me.
initial 2 3 kgs, I have been there, and been have lost many kgs and then come back and then again, and the same way. So it can be very frustrating, especially when initially you may knock off maybe 2 3 odd kgs. Maybe it's like the magic wand moves around, but then there is a plateau. So how does one deal with all of this? How did you deal with it?
Okay, so when I started, my journey, it started this way. My daughter was around 2 years, and I one day tried picking her up, and suddenly my back got stuck. I could not stand up straight, so lower back catch, and I never felt these kind of thing. I was very low on my energy. I was suddenly, and believe me, most of us we blame our kids. Uski wajah se mera weight put on hua. It's not them. When you have the kid, the baby weight goes off. Okay. During the lactation period, the baby weight goes off. It is just that we do not stop eating the way we were eating before. So the weight comes back, and then the body is bloated up. So that's exactly what happened with me. I did lose my baby weight and all of that, but again I started gaining because of my lifestyle, because of my eating habit. And you will not believe, in my family, my mother and father, no, none of them were diabetic, but I was detected pre-diabetic. I was fat, and I was pre-diabetic. I had inflammation in the body. I was very low on my vitamin D. I had to take shots. I could not get up from the bed for a whole day. Imagine how ignorant, we sometimes get to this point that we do not take care, and this is where we end up. So I was very frustrated at that point in time because I hated myself. Okay, so I did start, okay, and there was also a point, let me tell you, and most of us go through this. We also go about eating because in our body there's two hormone called leptin and ghrelin. Okay, and because of eating disorders, they are imbalance. There's imbalance between them. So when we eat something, maybe sweet, then we want to go and eat something savory. Okay, just to change the taste, and then maybe we want to just drink up the water and change the taste, and maybe go and have. Not everybody has it, but I had it. I had this kind of an eating disorder that I wanted to go and just pick up. Just there was no reason why I was eating it, but I was just going and binging. Okay, so at that point in time, and I just had to put a stop. I just had to take a minute and understand what am I doing to my own self. This is the body that I'm going to live for rest of my life. And I am just what 32 at that point in time, and look at me what I'm doing. And that was a wake up call. I Both of us, me and my husband, we went for a body checkup, and when all these things came, and I was pretty taken back because in my family, being from an army background, pretty healthy, disciplined eating, everything, and suddenly all of this sprouting up with no family history. I was devastated, believe me, because in my mind I was still the very athletic person who in college used to be running around and doing stuff. So well, I decided to take up this journey where I learn about my body. I understand how can I correct and how can I go back, because in my old age, when I travel abroad or anywhere, in my retirement period, I don't want to carry my medications with me when I'm traveling. I want to just enjoy. I don't want my knee pain or my body weight to be an issue for me to walk. I want to go trekking, hiking. So I wanted to come back to the shape. I was always in maybe in my 20s. So I decided to take up this study. I studied the science, and then I applied it. When I applied it, I started seeing the change. And let me tell you, I did not go to the gym. Okay. For losing fat, most of us, we think that losing weight, we need to hit the gym first. I would say, or I keep telling all my clients, we do not need to hit the gym. We need to be active for sure. You can, do something halka pulka if you're not a gym goer. But go to the gym only when you have your body is bursting with energy. Now you have lost some kilos and you're bursting, body is like, no, I have energy, I can do more. Try me. And the body will tell you. So in the beginning, I just started with yoga, simple Surya Namaskars. And I did my eating correct. I understood where all I had to correct myself, what all deficiencies, what all supplementations. So I concentrated, I started taking care of myself, I started loving myself. And once that happened, I joined yoga. Once I joined yoga and I started slowly seeing the stamina and the endurance getting built, that was when I started to do something more. Now, body wanted something more. So I started Zumba. So, Zumba also I did what all activities there they were showing. That also was at one after a certain point in time, it was not enough. I was like, I have more energy to burn. I need more. And that is when, for the first time in, say, 2019, I started gymming. Till then, I was not gymming. It was only food. So another very, it's a myth that to lose weight, you need to go to the gym. Okay. So if you're not a gym goer, I tell my client, relax. You start eating correctly first. Once that happens, you will start seeing your inch loss. Okay. Fat loss can be measured with inch loss, not the whole weight loss. For me, weight loss really doesn't matter. Okay. If you're losing onto your inches, that's what matters. So yes, and that is how I started my gymming. And once I started my gymming, and slowly I started being on the lifestyle of intermittent fasting. And then from there, it's like no looking back with my, lifestyle.
So, okay, one thing which I'm still trying to understand,
Yeah.
that know your body, right? So, whenever you do your health checkup, you would get to know your lipid profile, KFT, CBS, CBC, your fat levels, and everything, and maybe a few, like calcium and vitamin D and everything. Barring this, is there anything else that we need to know about our body? As to um, some food may suit us, some food may not suit us. The constituency of our body, the way our body, the make of our body, does that also have an impact on what we are eating and how that food is going to
Yeah.
impact our body?
So what I do is I also combine a little bit of Ayurvedic touch to my assessment. So what I do is I do a Prakriti analysis. It's basically what is Prakriti at the time of your conception in your mother's womb. Your traits are set. This is what is you. Okay, so it's not something which is very recent. So this analysis has set of 10 questions, which is like mental traits and physical traits combined. So with this, we can understand whether you belong to a Vata, Pitta, or Kapha Prakriti. So depending on Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti, or Kapha Prakriti, or if you're a Tridosha. Okay, so through that, I can also suggest to a certain extent that, see, the answers have to be absolutely perfect. Most of us, because we generally what we do is the answers are very much at present. Okay, it's how you are since your birth. It's not just how your today's current situation is. Okay, so your mental traits has to be, it has to be from that time till this time. So I would say it is accurate around 60-70%. But yes, if you have genuinely sat and thought about answering those questions, then we can hit it. We can get it like, yes, this is what my Prakriti is. Then I can suggest you according to the Prakriti, what is, or what should you avoid. Whether you should also go on a certain particular, like I'm on intermittent fasting lifestyle, but I do not go and suggest everybody to be on intermittent fasting. So it's I cannot just give it, hand it over like, no, no, you come, I will put you on intermittent. No, it cannot happen like that. Everybody's cycle or the journey is different. For me, this was my, journey. This is my journey, being on intermittent, but not for you, not for, everyone. So it could be
Anybody,
different. It
yes.
could be just, it could be just have to be mindful in our eating. You know, we just have to manage our portions, uh, and be mindful. Like, stop processed. As I said, we are so much thrown with so much of, shimmery stuff when we hit the store, and we have tasted everything. We have so many options. ओके आज मेरा ये खाने का मन कर रहा है आज मेरा वो खाने का मन कर रहा है so we have tasted everything we need our mind plays especially when you say that you're on a diet or your mind knows that you're on a diet it will ask you कि नहीं आज तो मुझे जाके what is that called पुचका खाना ही है so,
Absolutely. I think, the mind tricks you and it keeps testing you,
yes.
that, whether you are going to be very diligent and determined about it. So that's wonderful. I think, a lot of inputs that we've got from you today about how we need to assess ourselves and how important it is, ladies and gentlemen, to go in for that health checkup. Whether you are struggling with weight loss or not, please go for that health checkup. It is absolutely imperative, because it is not always about just the weight loss or the inch loss. It's also about being healthy and fit. And as Anupam said in the beginning, it's a change in your mindset. It's the way you look at your own self. It's about prioritizing yourself, and it's about loving yourself. But this one last question, Anupam, because we were talking and I said I'll ask you this later about the veg non-veg thing.
Mhm.
I've read on a couple of places and I've seen some series where there is a lot of advocacy to vegan diet
Mhm.
over a non-vegetarian diet, and many sports people across the globe have turned vegan and have shared their experiences that their energy levels are higher, they are not deprived of proteins, and their performance being a sports person has bettered. What's your take on that as a sports nutritionist?
Okay, so I've never been on a vegan diet, so that's my declaration here. But it is a very much personal choice. It is a personal choice. I cannot go and say that you become vegan to experience this. Okay, so it's as I said, it has to, if they are strongly feeling about it that they do not want any of the animal products in their particular diet, then yes, of course you come into being vegan. But I would not force it to anybody. And there is nothing being bad being a non-vegetarian or a vegetarian either. It's just that the food, because, it's your choice, right? So you get a set of things that you can eat. Now, being a vegetarian and a vegan eliminates a lot of stuff. Now, when those stuffs are eliminated, you get in more stuff. We get free pea protein, which is a vegan, protein supplement which we can have. And vegans are having a lot of soy protein in them, and as I mentioned, vegan almond milk is there. So they have a lot of options, and same is with being vegetarian. It is a personal choice. Like if you are a vegetarian, I would not ask you, "Okay, no, where will you get your protein from? Please turn into non-veg only, then you can be on a,
Correct.
balanced diet." Nothing. It is how, again, if I force somebody to do something which they cannot, or if I ask somebody to leave something which they cannot for a very long time, it's like a band. The more I stretch it, what will happen? It will only break. And once it breaks, then I cannot get them on track. So my whole ideology is, whatever whoever, like whatever kind of person you are, whatever is your lifestyle, let's work around that. Okay, let's tweak in ingredients. Maybe you are having this, so because this is high, so I would like to take this a little away, and I will give you this instead. That is tweaking. So I do tweaking.
So basically,
So
as
that,
we would say in the financial term, we are trying to create the right asset allocation,
yes,
create that
absolutely.
right mix of things. And I
Absolutely.
think the way I would use the thali as an example in finance, it's a similar thing that one would use in nutrition. That's absolutely it. So another question that has come, that Does quality of sleep influence our food habits and nutrition?
Absolutely. Stress and sleep. Okay. It's like, tripod of fitness. So we need our sleep very, 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 it's very essential to keep our body. And because sleep, what does sleep do? It helps us repair. You know, if, when we're sleeping, our body is repairing itself. If you're not allowing your body to repair, it's immaterial. A lot of people work at night and they sleep in the morning. But as long as they're sleeping, they're getting their 6 to 7 hours or at least 6 hours sleep, which is important. They are through. I cannot ask the person, nahi, nahi, aap job chhod ke raat ko hi so. No. But if you're getting your sleep, that is more important. Stress, major factor for your abdominal fat, because stress increases our cortisol hormone. And once that is increased slowly and steadily, our abdominal fat starts showing up. So I keep saying it's not just your food, it's also your mind and soul. Because if your mind is not rested, it starts showing. In family something happens, it shows. You go
Absolutely.
on drinking, you are stressed. So how do we come back? So that's exactly why you need to take, control over your mind. And that is exactly when it helps you when you're on a diet. If your mind is saying, nahi, nahi, mujhe to aaj ye khana hi hai, when you're controlling your mind, you're like, no, not now, not this. I have a better option because that is good for me. That conviction. Because मैं तो यहाँ पे आपको बता दूंगी, बाकी तो you are at your, on your own. Nobody is watching
Absolutely.
you. You
Absolutely.
can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. Yes. Very rightly said. I think it is all about, making yourself your priority, having that shift in the mindset that what is right for you, what is not right, and also accepting that yes, there is a problem, there are some underlying issues because of which there is an increase in your weight or the fat that you have in the body. And to also, I think it is a choice that each one of us makes, that how fit we wish to be. Is it just momentary, that we just want to knock off those few kgs and then get back again to all those things that we were doing earlier? Or you want to do something which is sustainable, which you can continue for a longer period of time and keep yourself fit, healthy, and happy? Your emotional well being, your mental well being, and your physical well being completes you in totality. It cannot be standalone. As mentioned by her, that stress levels have a huge impact on your physical challenges that you have. Your sleep, if you have a sleep disorder, if you're not sleeping properly, your stress levels are high, or you are influenced by a negative emotion, you will eat. A lot of people do binge eating. A lot of people resort to chocolates and ice creams, that okay, I'm sad, so I'm doing this, because they feel that by eating this it's going to give you happy hormones and you'll be delighted. Yes, you will be, but then there'll be a different level of sadness after that, that okay, oh my god, all that I have gained. So
Yeah.
absolutely amazing, Anupama. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
for
Akshay. Thank you.
actually bringing it here, and our casual conversations converting into a more formal conversation, and
Thank
for
you.
all our members to know as to how they can take care of our health. And I'm sure if a lot of you would have questions, for the ones who are watching now and the ones who would watch it later, feel free to share your questions, and do let us know if you would need any kind of one-on-one counseling or consultation from Anupama. I'm sure you can reach out to her and connect with her. We will share the details with you. If you need any kind of guidance, assistance to work upon your body, you know who to go to. A person who's not just talking, but who has walked the talk herself and has transitioned her life from not loving herself to her being her own priority. And I'm sure you can see that how beautifully her skin is glowing. And I am a witness of her fitness. 1 hour of gymming, 1 hour of swimming, and she's still on the roll. So thank you so much, Anupama, for being here, for sharing your experience, your knowledge, and helping all of us understand that how we can understand our body and work towards our
Yes.
mind, body, and soul.
Thank you so much, Akhtar. It was the pleasure being here. Really.
Wonderful. So, any last thing that you'd like to convey before we say bye bye to all our viewers? Any last
Yeah,
minute guidance,
I would
advice?
just say because all of this, heavy talk, I would say don't stress with all of this. Just take it lightly, take one day at a time, do mindful eating, have wholesome food, stop junk. Um, yeah, that's it. If you stop junk, you will see a lot of change. I think that is the key to the starting point.
Absolutely. When we take our junk from our life, a lot of things get better. When we declutter, things get better. So I think the same concept, philosophy, we need to apply to our eating also. So be healthy, stay healthy, and work upon your health. Don't forget to get your health checkups done. We've been telling this for a very long time that your health matters the most. If you are healthy, will you be able to take care of your loved ones? So, with this, we say bye bye to Anupama. Thank you so much for being here, sharing your thoughts. And for everyone, have a great weekend and stay tuned with a lot of other interesting conversations coming your way in the month of May. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye. Take care. We're signing off for today.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.